Hey everybody, recently we had an opportunity to meet Cousin Angelo. You've never seen him before. He invited me to his amazing sprawling estate. I was so excited for sun protection because it was a hot day. Thank you, Cousin Angelo. And as he gave us a grand tour of his amazing, sprawling Santa Paula compound, I was taken aback by all of the amazing Jurassic Park, the Cretaceous, whatever fucking plant that was. I have never been in such splendor at his estate. Oh, Cousin Angelo, thank you so much. Okay, let's keep moving. And I had no idea that Cousin Angelo had written a book. And here he is presenting me with his latest autobiography, Him, He, a pronoun, a prelude to a pronoun. As you can see, it was amazing. So much fun to be had. As the day progressed, we had a few drinks. We had some laughs. Oh, and I took the opportunity to run over and splash some water on Cousin Angelo because they say witches melt in water. And he was so kind to give me his amazing orange off of the tree. Okay, yeah, thanks. And so as we continued our day, I was so excited and ecstatic to have a drink with him finally. Oh, this fucking orange again. Thank you. Okay, bye. And so as the day ended, thank you so much. We had amazing drinks, amazing fun, and welcome to Do It Like Danny.
Are we ready?
Yeah, let's do this.
Okay.
So as you know, we recently sat down with Cousin Angelo, and as he took us on a tour of his amazing compound in Santa Paula. And you've all been wondering, because you've heard him, he's been our celebrity, what would you say he is? Celebrity who? Celebrity what? I'm not sure. As long as the word celebrity is in there, I'm sure Angelo will absolutely love it. So we'd like to finally reveal Cousin Angelo.
Yeah.
Cousin Angelo, welcome to the show! The reveal. I like your drink.
Well,
show the folks at home your
Yes.
drinks. Cheers. Cheers,
Just a little
cheers,
something
cheers.
to get us through the afternoon.
We wouldn't have it any other way, right?
Austin served this, so it may be radiator fluid. I don't know.
Wow. I will say this. Oh, I totally forgot I have these on. I don't need them. They're hot.
They're very...
I will say this. You have all been wondering what Angelo has looked like for many years. Just kidding. We only did a few
What a
episodes.
disappointment.
Well, let the folks hear you at home. Lean forward more. You got to be more close. You got to click
Yes,
closer.
Of
Yeah.
course, yeah. Of course, yes.
There you go. Get in there. Get in there. Put it in your mouth.
been a while.
I know it's probably been a while. You haven't heard that in a long time. A long time. But listen, welcome
thank
again.
you.
Welcome.
Well,
I
should
cannot
I say welcome?
Yeah,
I should say welcome. We're actually in my backyard.
We are.
we are. We love beautiful Santa Paula. It's beautiful. It's wonderful. It's so delicious. The plumeria smells like plumeria.
Well, I'm so excited to be on your opening show for YouTube. This is
guests.
really exciting.
Opening
honestly.
show. We shot a few episodes at this point. He's just rubbing it in. He's rubbing the salt
Yeah.
in.
You're our first guest, though, so that's
You are
something to
first,
proud of.
yeah, you're our first guest,
I
and
love it.
we
I
did
love
the
it.
reveal because people have heard your voice from
right.
season 1, and they've heard all your hilarious.
That's when the ratings went
celebrity.
down.
The what?
That's when the ratings went down.
When we had you on, a little bit.
Oh,
I saw the numbers dip just a tad.
jeez. It went from 40 to 38. What's wrong with you two?
How dare you? We have closet listeners. Okay?
We do.
We've not to mention, I'm a big closet fan, but we have lots of closet listeners.
Should we give a shout out to you again?
Yeah. Oh my God! Poor Jurgen. Jurgen.
Did he get deported?
No, but I'm sure he's listening because he's a closet listener.
Oh, he's one
Hi,
of them.
Jurgen.
Yeah.
He actually called me the other day. He texted me, and he's been calling, and he's so funny because he's checking up on me.
Oh.
Yeah, checking up on me. How what I've been up to? If I've
He's
been
bitter because he was never on the show.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah,
He is.
he wants to be on the show so bad. He he said to me, he goes, I'm gonna come on the show. I'm gonna tell them all the stories of how the true raw stories of Do It Like Danny, right?
Oh.
And I said, well, let me tell the story of how we met. And he got real quiet.
Well, he would know how to do it like Danny would be.
Yeah.
He's one of the few.
Poor Jimmy. Jimmy, don't listen to such
We
horrible
love you,
things.
Jimmy.
We love Jimmy. And I actually spoke to Jimmy this week also, too. Actually, I hadn't talked to him in months. So
How's he
hi,
doing?
Jimmy, again. And he reached out to me. But I will say this. I'm going to call him out. The biggest thing about Jimmy is I will always love that man to the day I die, right? Amazing person. Everyone loves Jimmy. Hate to make this about me, but it is my show. And so I feel like, listen, you've asked me before. Everyone's asked me, would I go back with Jimmy, right? And I always think back in my head and I'm like, well, listen, I thought about it. People always say, oh, don't go back when it comes to relationships. Don't go back, don't go back. But I really have no negative reason to not go back.
Yeah.
People say, oh, he beat me, Rihanna. And people say, he, and not to make fun, I'm sorry, that's not a fun thing, but maybe she deserved it. No, I'm just kidding.
Wow. Cancel
Edit
number
that
2.
out. Cancel number 2. Whatever I fucking said, I don't care. We're comedians. It's called comedy, people. Laugh. If you don't like comedy, move to Salt Lake City. Become a Mormon. But, people always ask, and you've asked this before, and Louis asked before, and they, you guys have said, would you ever go back with Jimmy? And I've pondered it multiple times. I actually would, but then he calls me. How quickly I'm woken up. He calls me, and we have a great conversation. I'm so happy that he reached out to me. I didn't reach out to him, even though I think about him constantly. And he tells me, well, I'll be visiting soon. And I'm thinking, oh, great. Like, he's going to come visit me like I've done multiple times when the show is there or when I've just been in town. And he says, oh, yeah, I'm going to go visit my friend in Vegas. And I was like, oh, and she's a female. So it's not like, it's not like that. And then she says, oh, and I'll be in San Diego in September or whatever the date. So I'm thinking, oh, okay. So I'm waiting.
Yep.
I'm waiting for him to say, well, why don't we meet up? Or why don't we? But it never comes.
Yeah.
So I guess I ask you guys, like, should I be the one to control that?
Do you control it all the time?
Yes.
So then no.
Yes, I do control it because the first thing that I wanted to do was, oh, well, I'll be. I can go down to meet you. I will do. And I'm thinking, I always do that.
So have you ever allowed him to do that?
What do you mean?
Allowed him to take control and ask you things like that?
I wouldn't say allow. Allowed is not really a good word to use around me.
Have you ever given him the chance to?
Have I ever given him the chance to? Here's the thing. There's been multiple opportunities where we've been in the same area,
Okay.
and I purposely have kept quiet.
And he doesn't say anything.
And he doesn't say anything. And the reason why I purposely kept quiet is because it was very much like our relationship. So the things that I learned over the years in my relationships, I learned that I didn't want to change the person.
Okay.
So there were multiple things. Listen, we all are born with our quirks, right? And I think the biggest thing even with Jared is I wanted Jared to come out. I thought that was the right choice, right? In the end, it wasn't the right choice. And
Is that the subway, Jared?
No, not the molester. My first boyfriend. My first love. Cue sad music. Crying filter. That's over. Anyway, so, I was young and, that's always your first love will always be your first love. But going back to Jimmy, it's like there was a point in our relationship, well, I will say this, where I said to him, because, the excuse that men make when they're with me is, well, whatever you want. I just want to make you happy. Whatever you decide, because I know that I am a strong character, right?
I thought you were going to say black woman.
That too.
Edit that out, please.
So, but the thing is, I learned early on how to deal with that. And why I say that is because he had the opportunity, and I remember this vividly. He had the opportunity, we were picking out furniture, and I think it was a wine rack. Was it a wine rack? It was something.
That's not furniture.
Oh, you would know, furniture queen. Okay, I got it. We'll get onto that too. We got to talk about it in a second. So I said to him verbatim, I said, whatever you choose, I will be happy with. And I was. Yeah. I was ultimately happy with whatever he chose. I mean, as I've gotten on in my old age, I realize now I just don't like olives. Black olives. Other than that, I'm fine with whatever else you want to bring to the table and to the party, to be honest.
So are you disappointed that he brought up all of the excursions and yet failed to say, I'll be in LA to visit you? Or what was the point? Or was he just sharing his excitement?
He was sharing his excitement, but I guess although we're not still together, to be honest, I kind of wanted to be a part of that.
Oh, Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
I wanted
of
to be like,
course.
oh, I mean, 'cause
Include it.
listen, we go on vacation together. So why is it when it's convenient, like when we're in Kauai or Kona or other places, then we're visiting?
Yeah.
But when he's super close to me, there was no initiation of, you know, oh, let me, you know, pop over, or if you are in town or if you're around, why don't you come down? Why don't we make some time to spend some time together?
Is Jimmy a little shy?
He's a Leo like me.
Oh.
Yeah,
we
but
were only
he's
like a
also a
week
little bit
apart,
reserved, though, yeah?
in birthdays.
Wow.
Right?
Okay. He doesn't come across as a Leo.
He does
No, he
come out.
doesn't.
He does come out very quiet. I
Yeah,
would agree.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
For those of you that don't know, Jimmy was my most recent boyfriend. If you're wondering, I know he listens and now watches.
Is he a
maybe.
closet listener?
Yeah, he's a closet
Oh,
listener.
jeez.
No, he's not.
Come
Him
out of
and
the
his-
closet, Louis.
Him and his
I mean,
family,
Louis.
they listen all the time.
Do they really? That's cool.
Jimmy.
No, they listen. They listen. They all listen. They
Yeah.
support, which is great. And so, like, I guess
Not Angela.
I guess. So, is it bad of me to assume, or should I have said something?
Again, if you always say something and you're leaving it up to the other person, that's you giving them the opportunity. But then again, if you look at Jimmy, he's very quiet. He's also
Yeah.
very reserved. And what are the boundaries that you guys have? Are they open? Do you feel like they're open? What if he doesn't feel that same way?
I don't know what the boundaries are. I mean, listen, when we vacationed in Hawaii, we slept in the same bed, but nothing happened.
Yeah.
You know, of course, listen, not that I want anything to happen. I will always respect him. And I guess in my mind, I just feel like we're gonna always be friends, like the way you and Keith were.
Yeah.
Like Keith
Yeah.
never left your life until he eventually did leave this earth, rest in power.
Yeah.
But you know, I don't want to get to that point. You know, I want to continue to, I guess, kind of be in Jimmy's life. Is that selfish of me?
Well, can I ask? Do you think Jimmy was waiting for you to initiate? Come visit. What like? Is there a time frame that works for you?
I feel like he was.
Okay.
I feel like he was, and in the old Danny would have been, oh great, let me arrange it, let me plan it. Okay, great. Okay, so we're gonna be there for these dates. Okay. Then I'll come down for X amount of hours, and I'll come down for this. But I bit my tongue. I bit my tongue because I felt that in that moment, that wasn't my place,
Right.
and I wanted him to do it.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know.
It's like when you go on a date and people go, "Let's go to dinner," and they're like, "Well, what do you want? Where do you want to go? What do you want to eat?" And they're like, "I don't care. What do you want to?" It's like nobody makes the decision, so
Yeah.
somebody has to make the decision. And I have a
Pizza.
feeling, yeah, I have a feeling Jimmy relied heavily on you to kind of create order, adventures, whatever. Take the initiative.
But is that what you want? Or do you want somebody who's going to also give you
Initiate.
the opportunity to just be like, I don't want to decide. You decide for us, and let's go and see what you can do.
I want someone to contribute.
Yeah.
I mean, listen, even in friendships, honestly, I don't keep you around if you're not, and I don't mean contribute like in a monetary kind of way. I mean
yeah.
contribute in like, you know, we should do this. Let's go here. Let's go there. You know, let's get tickets to a movie. Oh, great. Awesome. I'll go. I don't say no.
Yeah.
I rarely say no.
Yeah,
You didn't hear
know.
that, Jurgen.
Grinder knows you rarely say no.
That should be my new tagline. I rarely say no.
That's what I'll title the episode.
Yeah, I rarely say
Rarely
no.
say no.
But going back to the whole Jimmy thing. So listen, he's always been so wonderful to me. Like he bought my ticket to when we went to Hawaii. Like, you know,
Did Louis go? You pointed to
No,
Louis.
no.
okay.
I'm just
I
kinda
was gonna
like-
say, where was my ticket?
you know, I just thought that was nice. So I guess, you know, going back to the whole situation, you know, maybe I'm just having a little bit of a rant. I know last week I ranted quite a bit, and, you know, I'm good now. I'm on new meds, and the doctor said that in 3 weeks with my Cymbalta, I'll be good. I'm happier now. But just kidding. I'm
It's
not
just
on
calm
meds.
for today.
I'm not on meds.
He got it out last week.
I'm on happy juice today.
Hey, man, I try to make it as funny as possible. If you watched the video, hopefully people did. I did try to make it a little bit more
I
lighthearted.
appreciate that. Thank you. On a side note, my last week rant, I actually got a lot of people that reached out to me and said, "You're right." And I loved it. Exactly what you said. It may have been a little bit too much, but you know what? Fuck off. I don't care.
I learned people don't want to make gay cakes.
Yes, but
You were bitter. You
but
were a little bitter.
I was
Not
a little
about
bitter. I
that,
was a lot of
but
bitter. Yeah, I was a lot of bitter because I'm just fed up with our community.
Yeah.
And then also, too, I guess also that change has to come from within. I also need to kind of like figure out my platform and figure out how to help people because it's time.
It's it has turned into something that I don't even recognize myself. Yeah. And the surnames are him, her, his
pronouns,
rather. I went to public school. I have no clue what to call people anymore. Honestly, I have no idea. It's turned around, and there's so many variations. Honestly, you're like bisexual, binary, or you could be non-binary, bisexual, transsexual, or transvest. I don't even know.
Yeah,
I don't even know what to call it.
And it's the fault of our community.
Too many.
Like going back to last week, it's the fault of our community because they're creating all these different labels, and it's confusing the straight people.
Yeah,
because they're just like, oh, I want to put it in you, and you're like, no, I'm a she-wolf, and you're like, excuse me. Oh!
Well, I mean, I kind of feel like you do. I don't know what club I quite fit into. You're talking about bears and cubs and seals and squirrels.
But are you out there, Angelo?
What was that?
Are you out there? Are you?
No, I'm sitting in my backyard.
That's what I'm saying. You're not actually looking for something.
That's actually a great point that you bring up, and I will do a quick story here. My friend Philip invited me to go eat. Thank you, Philip. We went to go eat in West Hollywood at a really great restaurant by the name of Bottega Louie, which if you've never been in before, it's wonderful. It's great. It's delicious, the food. But for being West Hollywood, it's in West Hollywood. It's a little, it's a higher pitch. You have to kind of walk into it, and you're like, oh, we're in West Hollywood. So anyway, we had a wonderful meal. Our lunch was probably 5 or 6 hours.
Oh, wow.
The managers were wonderful. I ended up knowing one from Cheesecake Factory, and the other one had worked at Cheesecake, so we had that in common. So we began talking and sharing our stories and going on and so forth. And at the end, Philip said, let's go get a drink. And I was like, oh, God, I honestly have not been to West Hollywood in a couple of years. But I do know...
To party.
I'm sorry?
To party.
Correct.
Okay.
But I do know that each of the different bars house a different demographic. To your point, the polar bears, which are the old white men, and, the cubs and the otters, and literally the whole zoo is there. Yeah. And so I said to him, well, we really should go to the bar that really kind of represents our demographic, which would be Motherlode or Trunks, which is it skews older, and it's our demo or our group that feels that the newer, younger ones are full of shit. So then now listening to all of that, my next question to you is, do you think we're getting old? Is that what it is?
Yeah, but I think our sentiment is shared by more people than you realize. Because I have other people, good neighbor of mine worked at the Gay and Lesbian Center, and he doesn't even recognize it, and he's having trouble with it. So it has changed to that degree. I just used to think going out to West Hollywood and having fun was what it was about, and maybe you were bisexual or you were gay, but it was not a huge variation the way it is now, and it is confusing.
There's too many subcategories.
It is confusing. You're either an innie or an outie, right?
Belly button,
whatever you want to, however you want to categorize that. You're an innie or an outie, and you either suck or you don't. I mean, it is what it is. I mean, at the end of the day, I hate to detract from all the other communities out there, but it's too much.
Yeah.
It's too much at this point. Yeah. Enough is enough. We're all queer. It is what it is. Yeah. We're all queer. Just call it what it is and be done with it.
But it's distorted it. Yes. So it's unrecognizable even to our community.
Even to your own yourself.
So it's I don't know how to speak to that because I'm not in that. I used to run around West Hollywood when I was 100 years ago.
Dirt roads.
And I don't mind. I frequent restaurants or I'll go have a drink with people. But, it's certainly somewhere I don't know, again, where I would fit in. And maybe Motherlode's a great catch-all. But some of these other places I have no desire to be.
So the breakdown is like this. If you are an older gay man like us, you would go to Motherlode.
Am I in your category now?
Well,
you're almost in my
kind of older, but there's no piano bars.
Wow.
You got to go to New York.
Am I laughing at his insults? I love it. Which is true.
Rocco's is younger. Rage is now Heart, which is the
Radio
brainchild of, one of the Backstreet Boys, Lance Bass,
right.
and his whatever his investors.
Talked about that.
And across the street is Rocco's, which used to be a bank, and now they made it into a nice little food-friendly nightclub. Those are the youngest, like, fun, happening joints. I like Heart, but to get into Heart is kind of like a process because they pull people from the line, the younger ones, the ones that have no money.
Yeah.
The ones that are young and have no money, they pull them first and they get to go inside. And people like me who have money, that are you, who have, money to buy a drink, not sugar daddies.
Yeah.
They pull us last. Don't be a sugar daddy. And so, it's kind of a weird thing. I will say this, Motherlode is a great way to start because they pour a heavy drink.
Yeah.
They charge, $15 a cocktail.
Wow.
But let me tell you, I asked the guy, I just want a vodka rocks in a tall glass. And I'm not kidding you. He was like, glug, 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 glug. And I was like, oh my God, is it Sandra? What was her, Sandra Lee? What was that lady's name who used to make those drinks on TV, the chef?
Oh,
She's
yeah,
not anymore.
yeah,
Is that Sandra Lee?
Yeah.
And she'd be like, oh, just a shot of vodka. And he'd be like, glug, 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 glug. And she'd be shaking it over there and people are passed out in the background. But literally, and I go, I didn't even finish my drink.
Oh, wow.
My friend Philip ordered a Red Bull and vodka, and literally it was like, and he just went with a little bit of Red Bull.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
So yeah, they serve a great drink.
Yeah.
You don't need more than that. Anywho, moving forward from all of that, we should probably get on to why you're here.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, hi. Welcome again. I know we went on the gay rage, and I didn't want to go back on the gay rage. I wanted to have like a really fun, happy show.
My first time on your YouTube show.
Yes.
And we're canceled already.
Your episode was.
Yep.
So
I may just see the cutting room floor once again.
the best part was the opening. So hopefully you stayed tuned and you watched all the opening of how we were introduced to Angelo's compound. And it's important because that'll play into many scenes later on in our little episodes here. But thank you again. Thank you for opening up your home
Yeah, I've
and
been very
welcoming
excited
us.
about having you guys come over.
This has been exciting. I love how our tape schedule was, 4 hours ago and how we were finally taping.
Well, I had to hold off on the construction of the tennis court.
Yeah, you did. I can't believe you told the builders to hold on the tennis court. And they were like, okay. And I'm like, oh my God, what's happening here? Oh, must
They're
be nice.
day laborers. We just take them back to Home Depot.
We love Home Depot.
We love Home. I love Home Depot. Yeah.
You shop there though? Poor Louis. Louis like, I don't understand what is going on right now.
I get a little bit of it. I just don't say anything.
Home Depot is infamously known for cruising. If you're looking for a daddy, then you just get a big cart, put a piece of wood in it, and you push your cart around Home Depot.
Oh, wow.
And eventually somebody will fancy you.
Interesting.
And, there's bathrooms. There's fun things to do.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, the Home Depot I go to, the bathroom door is always open.
Even better.
When I pass by.
show.
So I thought it would be a great idea if you had like a serial killer who only scouted out home day laborers.
You thought this was a good idea?
Well, no, I came up with an idea. Because
Wait, don't tell because then someone's going to steal your idea and then it's going to be on American
it is.
Horror Story.
Cat's
There's
probably
enough
gonna
crazies
steal
out
it.
there.
It's
We're
going to
okay.
be the Mexican version of Americano Historia, okay?
Okay, just cut that all out. Really.
Oh my
really
God, we'll be watching Telemundo and they're like, oh, no, my hammer.
Now we know what happened to Juan. That poor day laborer.
Oh
So
my gosh.
I can't believe it's almost your birthday.
Oh, I know.
The fact that we're in July
Yeah.
is crazy because the last time I was in this chair behind the mic, it was with Darnella.
Yep.
Who may I just say,
Where are
I'm
you?
So sorry. Where are you? And I am really sorry. And I did reach out to her.
Oh, good.
When her dad passed away. So
She's been super busy. She's been super, super busy.
Yeah, ignoring you.
Working, ignoring me.
Apparently.
We talked the other day and she apologized. There's no need to apologize. Like,
Yeah.
we'll always be friends.
Yeah.
It's fine. It's fine.
Yeah.
Where are you, Darnella?
Yeah.
And she listens. She's up to date on all the episodes.
That's good.
So she's
Oh.
listening. She makes it a point to listen. So
That's
she's going to be
good.
very happy to hear that you're back on because that means her
Yay.
clock is coming up too.
I actually beat Darnella to the punch on
You
your
did.
first guest.
Yes.
I'm
But
your
you were our first guest, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Oh,
yeah, you were our first guest to begin with.
Darnella was.
No.
Oh, yeah.
Darnella
it?
was?
Oh,
No.
yeah. Mhm. I
Oh,
followed
it might have
Darnella.
been.
I
go back.
followed her. Remember?
I mean, if we're really talking about first guest, it was actually Kieran, but Kieran came later on.
Yeah, Kieran,
we really just
Kieran
recorded
was
him,
our
like,
first guest.
right
We didn't
at
know
the
what we were
beginning.
doing. We didn't know at all what we were doing when
that
Kieran
show
first
was
came
horrible. I mean, I really had a hard time listening to it, and I had to listen to it a couple of times just to make sure that it was as bad.
I had to cut that thing so good.
on. Oh
That
my
was a brilliant
God.
show.
That was
They're
a great
all
show.
brilliant.
They
I'm
were all
such a-
good.
They're all our
So-
babies, truly.
But I sit here again. I mean, I hate to say this. I sit here again as a huge fan of the two of you because
you.
I do watch and listen, and I listen as I watch. Does that okay? Because I'm used. So I have gotten into the habit of listening to your Wednesday show
Okay.
while I walk my dogs.
Great.
But I will look occasionally and see the two of you and what you're up to and your shenanigans.
The visuals will have a little bit more exclusivity because I can do more with video than I can with
yeah.
audio. So
I'm
if people
upset-
really do watch, you'll see some things that you won't hear in the audio.
Yeah.
So I am upset that the Emmys are not here because I was hoping one would get lost.
They
in
wanted
the-
to be here, they just couldn't be here today.
Oh,
We weren't sure about the Santa Paula, the trek all the way up here. We wanted
It
to make
is-
sure because you're
it's-
very close to Oprah, so I didn't want her to think they were her Emmys.
Actually, the truth of the matter is that I'm too close to Victory Boulevard.
Well, for the true fans, don't give out too much information.
60. No. If you want to write, I actually gave out your real address.
Oh my God!
No.
And that was on a fly. That was as a joke saying, oh, if you want to write nasty letters, send them to. And your address you never caught that. I actually gave out. So.
And it's in the
Disregard-
episode?
It is.
Oh, shit. People are going to go back and listen now.
I gotta pull it right now.
I'm like, oh, that's okay.
We'll be right back after these messages.
I have a guarded door.
But I know where you live, so I didn't really pay attention to your address. But for that moment, it just came out. Oh my so I apologize.
Oh,
Did you get any
great.
letters?
No, not yet.
No. Although I haven't been to the mailbox in a while.
Those collection notices
Yeah.
are piling up.
Oops. Larry Parker. So, the last time you were on the show, it was New Year's.
Yeah.
Which that was a pig fuck. We had a great...
Oh, that was a great time. What are you talking about? We were so drunk.
Excuse me, we were so drunk. That was a great time. New Year's was amazing. And so we are now in July.
Yeah.
Didn't
So-
I just say that, Louis?
Oh,
I
did
think
you?
I
I'm sorry,
said
you did,
that.
but you're referencing my birthday, which we talked about last
Big
week, so we'll
5-0.
cut that
Well,
out.
yeah.
So what have you been up to in the meantime?
Where do I begin? My job of 16 years is no longer, which
Okay.
I'm very happy about.
Is
Did
that a
you
good thing or
Norma
a bad
Ray
thing?
them, or did you and I'm trying to get a good reference
Yeah,
that
yeah.
you understand.
I don't know how much detail I want to go into.
Is that by choice?
It was a mutual parting
Okay.
of the
Okay.
ways. Yeah. And it, it was just time. It was just time. So I don't know. I'm in the same position you're in. I don't know what tomorrow's going to bring.
Yeah.
I'm not afraid of it. And I'm kind of excited about
Excited, yeah.
this stage in my life and as to doing something actually different.
Yeah. Listen,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
a very I get it. It's extremely scary.
I just said it's not.
To me, I think it's
Oh.
extremely scary.
Oh.
But I think what is empowering is sorry, I keep hitting my blah, blah, blah. I think what's empowering is for me, because I've always had to control it for so many years, I don't have control anymore.
Yeah.
And I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
I don't know about you, if you have to control everything, and I know we talked about last week where, one of my things was I've always wanted to be perfect. Always perfect. Perfect. And we're not perfect. And that's the stupidest thing ever in all of America because you're setting yourself up to fail. It's an automatic failed statement.
Well, what does that look like? I mean, is that just monetary? Is that you have the big home and the fancy car? I mean, what is perfection?
Exactly.
It's different for everybody.
It
It's
is-
different for everybody.
Yeah, but I don't think that's obtainable. I don't think that's achievable because, you reach that bar and then something else looks better and bigger. And then is that perfection or is where you're at? I think this is a perfect moment.
Absolutely.
I'm here with you guys. I'm on your podcast. Can I say we have a special guest in the audience?
we have an audience.
We do have an audience
we have an
member.
We
for
do
the
have an
first
audience
time.
member. Maybe one day we'll have more audience members. Can we count the dogs? We can count the dogs too, right?
So, but I don't want to even put myself under that stress as to what perfection means. But you strive to work hard. And I think you take a lot of pride in that.
I do. I'm also very emotional. So,
Yeah.
and I know that people in our business look at that as a negative and as a weakness. Listen, 3 Emmys later,
It's a strength.
you know what I mean? It's a little bit of a strength. I have at least I have compassion for
Yeah.
people. Whereas the people that I work with in the business are like, "Hey," and they don't care about anyone but themselves. And it's really sad because people think that, oh, these are my friends. They're all my friends. They're all my friends, but they're just Legos. They're
Yeah.
not friends.
So on your last episode, you talked about having dinner with some producers that are still on the talk.
Some executives.
Executives.
Yeah, executives.
Okay,
are still
so
talking.
and you expressed that the business has changed. So could you actually see yourself getting back into that game? Or is that just
that's like the $1 million question. I get that all the time. I feel like I've kind of outgrown television at this point, and I think this is a big reveal. I mean, I wanted to potentially get a position, and I don't know, even though I say that, every time I try to sort of get out, I get sucked back in. It's been 23 years. It's a long time.
Yeah.
But I want to do something different, and I want to do something that's a little more rewarding.
Like
Something
the
that
show?
I know when I wake up in the morning, I'm like, wow, that was fun. I had a good time. I didn't have to pretend. I didn't have to be fake.
Yeah.
I didn't have to be like, oh, let's schedule a meeting. Oh my God, you're amazing. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to talk in ings. Like, amazing. Oh my God, you're beautifying and like clarifying and you know. I don't want to be that person.
Yeah.
I don't like that person, and unfortunately, I don't like those people. And I
Yeah.
hate to say those people, but that's, listen. There's a few amazing apples in the tree, but there's quite a few that are I don't know if they're bred that way. I don't know if just that television creates that. I don't know if it's environment. I don't know if you just wake up one morning and you're an asshole. I don't know how that works, to be honest. I'm thankful that I do have emotions. I'm thankful that, I emote and that I feel and that I cry just like everybody else. I think for a while there, I did try to suck it up and be like, oh no, there's no crying in TV. But, it is what it is.
But I think this is where people are get to see more insight as to the reality of that time period. Because I think for Louie and I being on the sidelines, we just think, and again, you've said this, but we just think you're having this wonderful, grand time. And you're on set and you're meeting Madonna or you're meeting Britney Spears or you're meeting whomever. And it's a big life, right? And you're a big personality. So that takes a lot of stamina and steadfastness to be able to endure that. And I think out of the three of us, I think you have the most capabilities to actually be in that world.
You have to be really brave too.
Yeah.
I think it's really.
So I give you credit.
I appreciate that. I will say this: it is a lot of pretending to be someone that you're not.
But you're really
It's a
real,
lot-
though. I've never thought of you as being pretentious.
But he's
Well,
saying in that
No,
particular
like
instance.
so perfect
situation.
example is image. Nobody eats carbs. Nobody lives.
Yeah.
And I lived. I would eat whatever. Not that I'm, eating a whole cheese pizza in front of somebody. Like I would live my life. I wasn't going to skimp on things. And I learned that in Italy. Our tour guide said to us, she goes, if you see it, eat it. She goes, because you don't know if you're ever going to come back around
Yeah.
again to be able to do that.
Yeah.
Why would you not?
Yeah.
Why would you not? And I try to treat my life like that now.
That's a great
Now.
metaphor.
It is. And the reason why I bring this up is because I had two little assistants who they were constantly like microwaving a yam. And that was lunch. And then they would say, you should come work out with us. You should come work out with us. And I had multiple people tell me once I got promoted to my final position before I left the talk, you should work out. You should work out. My personality and my image is me. I will say this, I can walk into any room and project the confidence. I learned that.
Yeah.
I don't care. And I don't care in a way where like I don't take care of my body. I swim. I do Pilates. I do everything. I just have different genes that don't allow me to be able to be this skinny, super thin thing. And I'm also not going to sit there and microwave a yam every single day and have that for lunch. To me, that's not a happy life.
Yeah.
And I see all these executives that are, taking 85 spin classes in one day. And they're out eating, but are they really eating? Are they really actually taking a bite? I don't think that they are. And the reason why I say is because, perfect example, I took my sister to a Keels event. And she loved it. She was having so much fun. Well, of course, in the Keels event, there is a donut tower. There was creme brulee. There was, like Portos. There was like everything that you could think that you want to eat, right? Nobody at the event was eating. My sister went over and was eating, and I was talking to clients, right? Trying to project, get them on the show and so on and so forth. And At the corner of my eye, from across the room, I see my sister, who's thin. She can eat whatever she wants to eat. And she's over there and she's like tasting everything. And she's not gorging, but she's tasting everything. And I look right past her and there's a group of 5 women, girls, and they are intently watching her. And so I walk up to my sister and I'm like, it's just, Dee, this is so good. And one of the girls comes over and goes, is that good? You look like you're enjoying yourself.
So they were like living through her
We could never eat that. And I'm thinking, that is so sad. Like it was this big, but that is what you get involved in. And because I didn't care about that, I think people thought, well, what a slob or whatever I am, or they talk shit behind my back. Shocker, television. Oh my God. Who would have ever thunk that would have ever happened? But that's sad to me.
And the majority of those people aren't even on TV. So it's not like they're trying to be on camera.
Correct.
Or have camera weight.
And what they say is, well, you're an ambassador of the show. Fuck that. I'm not on the camera.
Yeah.
You pay me that camera money, and you best believe I will eat a yam every motherfucking day. You pay me those millions of dollars, yam is my middle name. I will go a keto, meto, Mr. Jajito. I will do it all.
And don't forget about all the personal trainers that come into play with top celebrities and the way they look.
They can afford it too.
Yeah.
I mean, Julie Chen helped one of the trainers. He came on our show and they boosted his career. I don't think that he would be where he is without her. Now, granted, Julie Chen, I mean, what platform does she have? Sorry. But I'm just saying that little bit catapulted him, and he was a great trainer to begin with, and he still has locations all over, and fucking great for him. He took advantage of that wave and he rode it. But of course, and then we go back to Julie. I mean, I would see some of their diets and I'd be like, oh, see, I'm not lying. That's the universe is being like, this is Danny's truth. And you'd see like a cup of oatmeal and berries. And you're like, are we in a forest? Like, what is that?
Give her a twig.
Yeah.
I don't know how sustainable that is.
A half a cup of, non-dairy beverage. And you're just like, wow, is this Jenny Craig? Like, what are we on?
It's a balance though, right? I mean, it's a balance of eating.
Yes.
Right.
It is a balance.
And exercising and
we as Americans, I definitely think that we definitely eat too much, but I'm not going to stop. Like, I'm not going to not have that slice of pizza. I'm not going to I want to live.
But can I just speak to, so it's interesting because you and your 2 sisters all have 3 different body types. Mm-hmm. So Rachel is average, right? I mean, not that you're average, Rachel.
Poor Rachel. Her birthday's coming
she's
up.
Like a normal body type. Cindy leans on the skinny side.
She's tall.
And you're husky.
I'm
right?
super husky.
And and there's nothing wrong with that. It's just you guys are different body types.
Interesting because my dad is tall.
Yep.
And my mom
Cindy
is
gets that
shorter,
gene.
husky. Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's just Cindy. So we're just like a mixture, a derivative of all 3 of them. Of course, obviously, it's our DNA. It's our parents. I get that. But yeah, I mean, listen, if I worked out 85 hours a day and I had a personal trainer and a dietitian, I'm sure, eventually, but would I be happy? Yeah. I love working out. Don't get me wrong. I swim every day. I mean, look at the tan on me. I mean, I swim every day. I'm not afraid of exercise. And I think when people look at me, they're like, oh, he's not going to want to walk up that hill. And bitch, I'll probably fucking hike up that hill faster than you.
You walked for 3 days when we went to the zoo. You had been walking at Disneyland for 2 days or something.
Oh my God!
We did
13
Disneyland?
miles at Disneyland. Oh, yeah. See, I think your tree's loving me. Your tree's coming on me. That was a big one. Did you see this?
That was Louis spitting. So I thought what we were really here to talk about was my new movie.
Yeah.
No, your new book. Your new book.
My new book.
So bringing it back to about you. So you
God, I wish there was
left your job.
Yeah.
You had an uncoupling.
Boulevard.
You had an uncoupling at your job.
That's a good way of putting it.
Yes.
Yeah, it was. Yep.
You uncoupled.
Were you sidelined a little bit?
No.
Okay.
No. It was just,
Was the writing on the wall? You knew it. Were they coming after you? Did they collude? Like they colluded against me? You did.
The signs were there.
Got it.
Yeah. And after 16 years of hard work, dedication, and commitment,
networking,
it was just time. Yeah. But I feel surprisingly free, and again, excited about the unknown. And I'm going to agree with you on one point. It can be a little scary at times, but I feel like I'm at a good place in my life. And I think you touched upon this last week, where when you just kind of trust life, it takes you to that next place.
Yeah.
And all those times that we bang our heads up against the wall and we think something's not going to work out, or we want something that's just not meant, it's not going to happen.
Yeah.
So you just have to have some confidence in the fact that, life has a way of taking care of us. You just have to be in a position to adjust.
Yeah.
So my question to you is, going back to you leaving work, do you think that it has something to do with your age?
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
No, I mean, I honestly, out of respect to everybody involved, I don't want to get into the
details,
kind of the nastier details about it. It was just time. But look, I have my real estate license. My sister and I have an interior design company that we're
what's
just
the name
started.
of the interior design company?
It's Interiors by Mi Casa.
Okay.
And we're branching
Do you have a
out.
logo? Do you have like a website?
We have a website.
Oh, good. So Louis will put up.
Yep.
Let
Yeah.
me move out of the way so Louis can put.
Yeah, the banner. We started a wallpaper line. I have a listing, if I can share, coming up in Brentwood where we get to showcase our wallpaper line.
Oh, well, yeah.
And we're branching out into textiles.
Share.
Now I'm getting into furniture painting. So I've been collecting antique pieces of
Hoarding.
furniture.
I mean, yes, collecting. So sorry. Yeah, hoarding.
We did have a 14-car carport. It is now down to 2 cars, or a car and a smart car.
And thank you for giving me the tour of the compound. I saw all of the collection pieces that you house here in your now 2-car garage with all of the hoarding.
And of course, the only thing that stood out was a wine cabinet for him. Yeah,
Of course.
yeah.
No, that's all great. All of
the
it's
other
beautiful.
antiques.
You have
Yeah,
a lot of great pieces in there.
Yeah,
But it's time to sell them.
yeah, it's time to get to work. So I'm just taking my time. I want to do it right. I want to have fun. I'm like you. I want to enjoy this part of my life.
Yeah.
I really do. I'm in my mid 50s, and it's like I blinked and I woke up, and it's like, where did that time go? I will forever look at you and think you're 30.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
I wish.
It's crazy.
With a little bit of shoe polish and some specially placed tape.
But what I really want to talk about is how you and your mother attacked those good Christians in San Diego.
Oh, she's going to come after you, man. She doesn't want to talk about that at all.
Those poor God-fearing.
Oh, it's back.
I just need a sip.
Yes, I think you need a drink.
Courage.
Yeah, Anna Mae, don't eat the cake. Take a drink.
I have so many notes on previous episodes, although this is the first one on YouTube.
Okay, well then
Worth
let's go.
watching.
Well, are we done talking about you though? I want to make sure that we fully have exhausted
you the
you
spotlight
with your
enough.
hoarding. We want to make sure that you know his new hoarding company is displayed. And
Interiors by Me Hoarders.
yes, by Me Hoarders instead of become Me Hoarders, and his renovations, aka dusting off the cobwebs.
Hacelo con Danny.
We want to make sure
Como
that you.
Danny.
Who?
I'm doing it like Danny.
Now
I
he's
am
Spanish.
living my life. I am. I think this is very inspiring. Once again, Cousin Louie, you're a huge component of what's happening in this moment.
Yeah, because I would have never done this on my own.
I don't see that, but I appreciate that other people do.
No,
I had an
I would have
idea.
never. I would have never. Like going back to him. Honestly, it was him. Until one day, of course, obviously, as we told the story in season 1, when it came about, it didn't click in my head until I experienced that moment, and I was like, I can do this. This is so much fun.
And here you are, season 2, and on YouTube.
Yeah.
So I think we're all three of us are at very similar junctions, right?
We're at a similar point on our journeys where we all want the same thing. It's kind of interesting.
Well, but are we allowed to talk about what you were doing or aren't doing anymore? I don't even know. Are you? We don't know where you're at.
We don't know where I'm at.
Okay.
Let's leave it at that.
But you're ready for
He's
change.
in transition.
Yeah, I'm in transition.
Oh.
I'm changing
Is
currently.
it-
He's a tranny.
As we're doing this is what I'm currently doing.
He's in transition. Isn't that what it means? Right, queer people?
You know, I can't hear out of this ear, so I was like, what? And then I heard it after.
Zoom in on Angelo's puzzled look.
Zoom in on hoarding.
Yeah, but I guess we're all at different. We're not where we were 5 years ago, 3 years ago, a year
Absolutely
ago.
not,
We're all
yeah.
kind of going on to unknowns.
I feel like it's bigger and better. It's kind of interesting. I'm afraid, but I'm not as afraid as I would have been 5 years ago, even a year ago.
So what's different about you? What's different about now that you feel that way?
A lot of it was who I was with at the time.
Okay.
Who I was dating. Just confidence in what I was doing. I didn't have a lot. And having to leave that person to realize that I would survive and just kind of get to where I'm at and just follow what was actually talking to me, I guess, at the time.
Yeah.
I never really did that before. I just kind of moseyed along with what other people wanted me to do. And this was the first thing I ever really tried to tackle. And I kind of harassed you, but I did kind
It
of
really harassed me too
poke
much.
at
I
him.
mean, you presented it to me, obviously. And
I planted the seed.
Yeah.
And I let it
Well,
grow on its own.
The kidnapping charges were dropped.
Yeah, for sure.
who mine? Yeah, I mean, listen, it has been extremely cathartic. And I think the more that you come on the show, you're going to also realize, too, like, although that we joke, there's just a little bit edge. There's an edge of truth in everything.
Yeah.
And it's very freeing. It's very freeing. It's I mean, listen, I've healed immensely. I had a lot of shit that I was holding on to.
Yeah.
And for me to be able to tackle what I tackle now in a, logical way, not so much on an emotional plane, I'm happy for that.
Yeah.
I mean, listen, he'll tell you too, we've said this multiple times on the show, there are hours of unreleased audio where I was either and I went through the spectrum of emotions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I said to him, yeah, don't put that out. Don't put that out. So
It's just because it wasn't structured.
it wasn't structured.
Eventually, we structured it together to get out what you needed to.
Yeah, and now we kind of are. We have a little bit of structure. We have you. It's like it's a celebration of my family.
Celebrity Corner coming weekdays.
Yes. And that was my next thing too. I was going to tell you. So if we had talked about all of you, do you
Yeah.
have anything for Celebrity Corner? Anything cooked up?
Oh God. Well, God, you catch me.
Did you ever
tell
get a
me-
hold of Wendy Williams? We've all been wondering.
Wendy's in rehab. We put Wendy in rehab a long time ago. You guys tell me not to be prepared, and then I'm not prepared.
Ironically,
Well, no, there's
you've
a
done very
difference when you're today.
Reading
Barbara Walters was seen on a cane, and Betty White
So let's
died. I can't read my writing. Is this my writing?
let's talk about the Britney Spears slap.
What's that?
The plant that
Oh,
we
no!
sniffed. It died.
Oh,
Faded. Can we get that? That was a beautiful imported plant that just died.
It had enough of the bullshit.
Well, I'm curious to know, what is your take on this whole Britney Spears, because it's kind of flying under the radar, but it's making headlines quietly. It's not making like the front page, but it's kind of being buried. I don't know.
Well,
It's kind
she
of-
was a white woman attacked by No, she wasn't attacked. So have you seen the TMZ release? How does TMZ get everything, by the way?
Because they pay for it. That's
Yeah.
why.
They have
They've got
everything.
people everywhere.
People are smart enough to know to go to them first.
Gosh, man.
they know
have
they'll pay for it.
everything. So did you see the clip on TMZ?
Where she tapped him on the back.
Well, she attempted to try. It looked like she attempted to try to tap him on the back. And I think the natural instinct of the security, which, by the way, I mean, how tall is this guy? This
7
He
foot.
looked like 7 foot. Yeah.
I mean, and did you see his bodyguard?
Yeah.
His guy was like 5'9". So I don't know. I guess there's a whole juxtaposition for me, because why do you need a bodyguard when you're that tall? But
Right.
listen, I don't know how it works in basketball, but and so then it looks like he went like this to block her, and it hit her, and she was dramatic and startled. She might have been on something. I don't know. Listen,
So her face got in the way of his hand.
yeah,
correct.
kind of.
Okay.
So
what it
I mean,
looked like.
you could go one of two ways. I mean, obviously he saw her because he had enough instinct to stop, right? But he didn't assess the situation. He didn't turn to look and see, because at the end of the day, I will say this about people that are in television: you signed on for it. You signed on for it.
Oh, yeah.
So you can't sit there and be like, oh, poor me. I'm getting chased by helicopters and paparazzi. That's your fault.
Yeah.
You wanted that. You got what you asked for. I want a peaceful life. Well, then go live in a box because you're not going to get it.
That's right.
There's no such thing. So I don't feel bad for you when it comes to that. And so especially when it comes to like celebrities, like basketball players, sports stars, you have a duty. I mean, children look up to you.
Yeah.
You have to make sure that not only are you playing that part, but you play the part in real life. Because at the end of the day, there is a kid that is looking up to you, or a girl, or whomever is looking up to you in some sort of, oh, that's my idol. I want to be like you someday. And you do have an obligation at all levels to complete with whomever comes into your space. So I think that me personally, I think that the security guard should have assessed the situation. He just reacted. And at the end of the day, the guy's 7 feet tall and there's a woman running up to you. I wouldn't have reacted that way. You could have easily like put his hand on her head and she would have been like, you know what I mean? Like very, very rascals. I mean, really, you could have done that because at the end of the day, it's like for him to be so dramatic and be, oh my God, you're 7 feet tall. And Brittany's like 5'2" something. She's super short.
Yeah. And she's probably one of the more recognizable people in this world.
Not lately.
Not lately. Well, she's been a mess lately.
Yeah, she
but the world has spiraled out of control. I think the world is just upside down. We can't make heads or tails of anything anymore.
Yeah. This is true.
It's such a mess. I mean, this is, I don't know.
Poor Brittany. So what was the end? What's the result of that so far then? What have you heard?
So not much more than, they're investigating, but no immediate charges were pressed against, or charges were pressed.
In either situation.
Yeah. But that's a uncomfortable situation when you're at that level. But there's a ton of celebrities that have major status that fly under the radar. There's no scandal. There's nothing ever said about them. Like they just live their lives.
Yeah. I think what was very scandalous was what she was wearing. Did you see what Brittany was wearing?
Well,
I think that should be talked about. Yeah. So if you go online, look at the clip, and I hate to be like that, but like, it's Britney Spears.
At least she was wearing clothes because usually she's not.
Her OnlyFans, they pay extra for that.
Yeah. So there was rumors of her like breaking up with her husband of 2 years
already.
Oh yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Like around their anniversary.
He's gay.
Wow.
You say that a lot.
I do say that a lot.
So speaking of gay, cousin Louie was gay for a day.
When we went to the zoo, right?
When we went to the zoo. We had a protected barrier around him so he wasn't mauled by any animals, by any bears or giraffes.
Bears, cubs, or twinks.
That was actually a lot of fun. I want to do more things like that. I definitely want to spend more time with my family, and I enjoyed every minute of it. Because, I don't really get an opportunity to like really kind of hang out with you in that respect, or even Ange. I hadn't seen Ange for a really long time.
Yeah, me too.
So it was wonderful to kind of hang out with her, and it's fun. We all talk shit about each other in a good way to each other. We definitely need to work on hang out with Paul and his family because we don't do that enough.
Yeah.
Do I know your cousin who just got married? Your gay Arthur?
No, I don't think so.
No, you don't. Yeah. I mean, we are, and we've had it's always been kind of estranged. It isn't until recently where we kind of gotten closer. But you have your sibling rivalry growing up. His mom died, and God rest her in power also too, Aunt Judy. And listen, death.
Is this your mom's sister?
I'm
sorry for interrupting.
This is my grandmother's brother's son.
Okay.
So my Bama, her brother Art.
That was her sister-in-law.
Correct. So Art, and I didn't know Art was in the community ever.
Yeah.
That kind of just came out, and we've talked about it. I would love to have him on the show at some point also too, because it would be great to do the comparison, because I was like, coming out, and he is the epitome of. He's the circuit queen, and he's going to hate me for saying that.
Oh, yeah.
But he's circuit queen. Him and his partner, they don't eat carbs. They work out all the time. They're on cycles. No,
he sent me a message actually the other day about what carbs he eats.
What?
He sent me a message about what carbs he eats. He says, I'll have you know. And I was like, hey, man,
That's awesome.
It was good.
Well, I'm actually excited. So we will have an update because we're going down there.
Yeah.
I got invited by Art to go and be a part of Comic-Con, which I've never done before ever in my entire life. So I'm really excited about that because, with my 50th anniversary being on planet Earth, I want to do I want to do something I've never done every single day for my 50th year on this planet Earth,
Nice.
which is coming up. So that's one of those things I've never done before. I mean, there's multiple things that I've never done before, and that's how I want to sell. I want to be like Disney. Disney can do it for a full year. Why can't I?
Are you going skydiving and like?
Well, so you got to be
cliffhanging?
you got to be 250 and below.
Okay.
I'm not there yet. Jabberwocky Marvin. So that maybe that might be on the spectrum of getting my health in check and getting a tummy tuck. No, I think I have a tumor. I weigh like 300 pounds, and I don't mean to make jokes or be mean, but like, I dance. I can do the splits. I mean, I go out there and do the Janet Jackson or the Britney routines, and people are like, "Oh my God, she spins!" Right?
You're the Lizzo, but you're not that big. But you're the Lizzo.
No, I am. I'm the Mexican Lizzo. I'm the Mizzo. Dizzo. I'm do it like Danny. I'm Dizzo. Hey, Lizzo, if you're looking for a cohort, I'm Dizzo. That's my new alter ego, Dizzo. I'm gonna get some makeup. Damon, wake up!
There's people roaming around this property all over.
Oh yeah.
They're being very quiet and good.
Dizzo. I like that. So I think that listen. I told a guy the other day. I'm like, I weigh over 300 pounds. He goes, what? I go, yeah, I think it's
You
a tumor.
carry it well, 'cause I
think
would have never
that's what
known.
Everyone says.
Yeah.
I mean, I swim a mile, and I'm over there, and one of the older men was like, wow, you have a really nice stroke. And I was like, is he hitting on
I don't
me?
think that's what he was talking about.
Right? He goes, it's so slow and smooth. And I was like,
He said it just to you like that, right?
yeah.
Slow and yeah.
In his little mankini.
Yeah.
Are you still swimming at the park?
I sure fucking am.
Okay.
I love it.
You haven't mentioned it in a
love-
while, so I just...
Well, I haven't mentioned in a while because I haven't mentioned in a while, and this is so bad. I love all the people that work there, but the truth of the matter is they hire children.
Oh.
They're all kids.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone's over the age of 17.
Oh, wow.
And so the ones that teach the classes, it's kind of like Russian roulette. You don't know what you're going to get.
Yeah.
And
Isn't that like Grindr?
but at least you know you're gonna get laid on Grindr. There's a difference. When you're in the water in the middle of all the kids, you can go to jail. It's different. But they change the staff so frequently that the ones that you finally get attached to, they get
gone.
promoted and they're gone. And so it's been hard to talk about them because all the ones that I've been with have gotten promoted. And congratulations to them. Like obviously when you're that age, amazing for you. Move on. Go do amazing things.
They graduate from high school. What are you talking about?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, grade school. I mean, seriously, It's so true. But I feel that lately I haven't been getting a great workout. The boy that teaches is very good, but he also teaches it as if we're all 80 years old. And we're not 80. Yeah. Even the 80-year-olds are like, come on, kick my butt, that's what I enjoy. There's one lady named Sarah, and she's like in her 80s, and she gets in and out of the pool, and she's like me. We're a little heavy set, right? She's Danny. She whispers to me the other day, we're gonna have to train him. And I was like, I agree, Sarah. I try not to say anything because when they're new, you don't want to like ruin their confidence. Yeah. And they always ask me, what's the advice you can give to me? And I say, don't teach the class like we're 80. Teach the class like we're 20-year-olds. They love that.
Yeah.
These 80-year-old women love getting their ass kicked. I mean, they want to be out of breath.
Oh, yeah.
And when you're over there, take the noodle and go right and left. I'm like, it's a stretch.
Yeah.
So now I stay longer and I swim longer, and it's like, oh God, I swam a mile the other day and I was like an angry mile. I was like, I was like, because I just wanted to work out. I wanted to be out of breath.
Yeah.
I wanted to feel like my body was getting some sort of like healthy exercise. But God bless them. They're all great children. Oh. Yeah, they're all great kids. And if I had kids, I wish mine were like that.
We jumped from winter to summer. We didn't really get a spring.
We still haven't really had a summer, in my opinion. It's really nice
It's starting
today,
now.
and it should be really hot.
Yeah.
This is that time of year.
Or wait, today is Monday. What is today? Wednesday?
It's Mo Wednesday.
It's Mo Wednesday.
Wednesday.
Remember, because audio gets released on Monday and the actual footage gets released on Wednesday.
That's right.
Yeah. So going back to you, because this is all about you, because we wanted to show you, welcome you. Now Darnella knows what you look like. This is great. The world
Darnella
gets to see you.
we've had dinner like 4 or 5 times now.
On the side, behind the scenes.
Darnella and I have our new podcast, which you can catch on Mondays. Yeah.
Yes, antiquated celebrities and
Yeah.
friends.
What shocks me, and I won't go too far off onto this. What shocks me the most about Darnella is that I didn't realize how close her dad was to passing when we did that in January. Because my God, the man lived for what, like 20 years with cancer?
It was like 15 or something like that, yeah.
years, and then suddenly 6 months later, he's 5 months.
And all the while,
He's gone.
he was helping other people.
Yeah.
Like, he was extremely sick, and all he did was help other people.
Yeah.
So I joke with her all the time whenever I talk to her. I said, oh, my God, you're I go, because, I talked to her the other day, and she'll probably also reiterate what I'm about to say. And I said to her, and she said, I'm just in a spot right now where, they're trying to figure out, like, probate. He had multiple properties that he left to
gonna
him
be a
and the daughter.
long,
Oh, there was no
Okay.
will?
Oh, yeah, there was a will, but I think
If you go through probate, there's no will.
is that what it is?
Yeah.
Okay, so maybe I'm incorrect, and I'm sure Donella will correct me.
Yeah.
But they're going through the selling of the property. What should they do with all of the assets? And it's also too. It's going through the home of all of his property. And I said, "Oh, I'm more than happy to come and help you if you need me." And she was very smart about what she said. She says, "It's something that we need to do." There's a lot of emotion, memories there, and that she's just not ready yet.
Yeah.
And I told her that's okay, and she goes, "Thank you." I'm like, "It's totally okay." Listen, when you have a matriarch or a patriarch die or pass on in this life, there's no book where people can say, "Oh, you are gonna grieve for 5 days and 4 hours." It doesn't work that way.
Yeah.
Everyone's different.
So is her mother still here?
Yes, her mother is still here.
Okay, but they were not married. Or the parents at that?
No, they were divorced.
Divorced.
Yeah,
Okay,
they were
okay.
divorced, and he had a new partner, and
Okay.
she's great.
Oh, he
I
turned
don't-
gay?
No, she.
Oh,
she
wait,
no,
you said
probably-
partner. What?
Well, because they weren't married.
Okay, got it.
They weren't married, so that's what it was considered was a
That landed
partner.
wrong.
I know. Look at you trying to gayify everything. God, you're just like the rest of those people our community belongs.
Yeah. Just because we made Louis gay for a day.
Trying to gayify everything. But yes, she's going through her own. In addition to working a major full-time job, it requires a lot of her time and her effort. So to deal with that and then to deal with the death, there's a lot going on. I don't think she's given herself an opportunity to grieve, to be honest.
It's hard.
Yeah, I didn't give myself a moment to grieve either, too, when, both of my grandparents died. I just kept going. I was working at the show.
Yeah.
There wasn't a moment to grieve until later on. Then I was like, oh, and then I kind of had my own.
But I love that story. I don't know if you told it to me personally or if you told it on the show, but I love that story about you being in a parking structure and there were 2 hummingbirds that came to, or was that Gina? But there were 2 hummingbirds that you thought of Grammy and Grampy.
Well, maybe it was Gina, but I do know that whenever there's hummingbirds present, we always associate that with our grandmother, with our Grammy.
Wrong
Somebody
show.
was in a
Wrong
car and 2 birds came together and they immediately thought of Grammy and Grampy, and I thought it was you, but
Maybe it
maybe
might
not.
have been Gina.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Hi, Gina.
Hi, Gina.
We love you, Gina.
I'm gonna have my birthday party at Gina's house.
Oh yeah. You didn't know that?
No.
August
Where's
5th?
my invite? I'm always on the last to know list.
How do I know? I'm not even part of the Verdugo
I
family.
know. Are you having a celebration?
Yeah, something small. Something
August
super small.
5th.
Cindy,
Okay.
we're gonna do a play on Sex in the City. It's gonna be what was it? 50 and fucking fabulous.
Oh, okay.
Are we setting up a table?
We'll probably
for
set up a
everybody?
table so you have an opportunity to roast me. Everyone's
Yeah.
listening.
We're gonna have a camera set up and the
Oh.
microphones, and I'm gonna be here. People want to say something nice,
And you'll
or
be
they
able to
just wanna
tell
rip
the
into them.
stories of Danny Verdugo.
Did you go to his 40th party?
I did. It was,
Wasn't that incredible at
it
the
was amazing.
winery?
Were you there?
Yeah.
I think that's
Yeah,
from
yeah,
my
yeah.
40th.
You stole it.
I
I
gave him
don't.
away.
Maybe I met you, maybe I didn't. I don't remember.
Yeah. There were what, 100 people there?
There was a lot.
75 people?
Yeah,
That was
almost
a big
100.
thing. Yeah. 100,000.
Yeah, right.
I don't even want to know what that cost
See
you.
that
but
10
was a
years ago.
beautiful-
10 years ago.
It's a long time.
But look at how quickly it goes.
Oh yeah.
That's the scary part.
I had just started at the MTA. I was only a year in.
Okay.
Isn't that weird?
And you've only run over how many people?
None,
Oh,
thank
none?
God.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah,
Now,
it's-
how many have I wanted to? Every fucking single one.
So just
The
real
Purge.
quickly, have you ever kicked anybody off?
Yeah. I had to
Okay.
kick off a racist guy in Glendale one time. Yeah, he was just going off on people not
Okay. Yeah.
speaking English and this and that. And Sometimes you got to do that.
Yeah.
The purge.
Yeah.
What do you do? Just keep opening the door and closing it?
You pull off the bus, you stop it, and then you tell him to get out. If he doesn't, the people will pretty much take care of it for you because they have places to go.
Right.
So you always put it on them, and then the people will throw you off because they know I can't physically do anything other than call the police and the proper
Just carry
authorities.
mace.
I wish I could.
It's like Big Brother. Pick someone in the room to hate. People, you could put 50 people in a room. They will find one person to hate.
Yeah.
Well, okay, but so I think about that, right? So I'm sitting in a room, right? And I think, okay, there's got to be one guy in the room that likes, certain things. Actually, I'm not going to even go into it because it's a whole, I think, no. So I was thinking there's if you're in a room, right, and you think there's 50 men, there's one sitting there with women's underwear and he likes it. But he's straight.
That's where this is going. Okay.
So no,
Today in Santa Paula.
edit that out.
Lingerie and you.
I was thinking
This
if
is
I
new
were
show.
if I were a bus driver, I would purposely slam on the brakes just to see everybody jerk forward.
That's what I said. That's what I said.
I think it'd be fun just to kind of like, sorry everyone.
Yeah, until they turn on you, and then it's not so fun anymore.
I can't even imagine.
That's
That's
rough.
a big vehicle you're driving. I give you a lot of credit.
That's what got me here. If I didn't do that job, I wouldn't have been able to have any kind of,
Resilience?
I guess, to sit here and in front of a camera and start a show and think that this is going to go.
Oh,
somewhere.
confidence.
Yeah, confidence. Thank you.
Think about
Confidence.
where you're at though. You have a mortgage.
Yeah.
No kids, no family,
No
but you have a
kids.
mortgage, and that's a big responsibility. So to take the leap of faith into something unknown again, where money could be uncertain, that's a huge risk.
Yeah.
But you sit here very calmly. But you've probably had many nights where you grapple
behind the
with
scenes,
it
I'm like, this isn't going to work.
oh God, yeah, the rash is like down the side of the. Oh
But
Gosh.
whereas before I would say this isn't going to work and give up, I don't feel that way. Now I kind of like it'll work.
You just keep pushing the ball
Yeah,
forward.
it's gonna
and
work.
eventually. And again, I think it's so funny. I thought it was so funny when you said to me that, or not me. Oh God, see, I think his YouTube videos are talking to me. When you talked about Leah Remini staring you down.
Oh, yeah.
She's a lot.
That reel did
She's-
really good for us.
She is a lot.
I know somebody who is good friends with her parents and has Thanksgiving dinner with Leah's parents every year.
Vicky?
Her name is. Can you bleep that out?
Oh, I
don't.
He was her assistant.
So do you know that lives up in the Hollywood Hills and also lives part-time in New York?
Well, the only I knew was her assistant.
I have to bleep all those names out.
Oh, yeah, bleep them.
She's a lot. A lot.
Yeah, but she was her assistant. But Leah fired her. If this is the same,
How many
Leah
Morgans are
fired her because
there? Are we allowed to say that?
there was something leaked to Perez Hilton or somebody somewhere in the trades. It got leaked about Leah's attitude, something that referred to the talk, and Leah went around a witch hunt
Oh, wow.
and fired her assistant because she believed it was her assistant.
Wow.
Yeah.
yeah.
Now, if that's the same as you bleep things out, sorry.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That
I don't know if that's the same
They
one,
were
but
cut from the same cloth.
But I
though.
do know that she knows a lot of same people that I know because when I was in New York, I got introduced to a group of friends who knew her and they called on the phone. I'm like, oh my God, she's like Danny. And so we talked on the phone. But yeah.
Probably my age, if not a little bit older.
Oh, then no, probably a different one. Maybe her name was, I hope her
but
name
she was
was
so intense. I just couldn't take it anymore. Sorry.
I mean,
I
she
just couldn't. I just could not.
It's all that cigarette smoke. I don't know if
Leah
she still smokes. But, oh
smokes?
God, Leah would. She was a chain. Oh my God, it was like her. They would have to clean her dressing room like all the time because it stunk like smoke.
Wow.
Like
you would think she would be the complete opposite of that, right? Like that fanatic about being healthy and especially being best friends with Jennifer Lopez.
Well, I think that all stemmed from Scientology. I think because they all knew each other. Again, I don't know if J-Lo is a Scientologist.
No, I
I will
think so.
say this.
She's a good Catholic.
The one
girl.
great thing about Leah was we had the most amazing guests on season 1. Season 1
Is that
between
all she
her,
was on?
between her and
Oh, yeah.
Holly. Holly did all that philanthropy. Now in the beginning, I think it was for Alzheimer's, and then it became about autism. So she changed between her platforms, which was great because Holly knew everybody.
Yeah.
So in addition to Holly and Leah, colluding together to get J-Lo, Will and Jada, I mean, Justin Bieber, it was amazing. I think that it really put Julie in a separate category.
Oh,
Wow.
And I think that's why Julie ultimately kind of just moved forward to fire them.
Yeah.
Was because of the fact that they were more popular than Julie.
Was that her call?
Allegedly.
Got it.
Allegedly.
So I'm curious, you know how we all go through stuff, right? And it maybe not good. In your case, you left on very bad terms. Are we allowed to say that on the talk? And I don't mean that.
No, I wouldn't say that I was
not
on bad terms. I would
but
just
it
say
wasn't a
that
good
people
situation.
colluded against me
Right.
to get me out,
It-
which goes to show you that they'll use and abuse you, and when they no longer want you,
Yeah.
they will find any reason to get rid of you. And eventually, when we get to that point in the story, I will reveal the reason, and you're going to go, what? Because there are so many other things in this world that could have been worse, and that was the one. That's all they could get me on.
Yeah.
Because the one supervisor was trying so hard, she couldn't find anything. Now, God rest her peace, she's dead.
She's gone.
But what I was going to say, and you had a long run, and I remember that. I remember that switch. You and I were talking quite a bit then, when they put you upstairs in an office. Suddenly, you were upstairs in an office. I thought.
I think it was always.
or you were offset. You were like separate somehow. It was towards the end of it, but that's not really where I wanted to go. What I wanted to ask you was, do you think there's going to come a point where you can look back and the negative is kind of fallen off and you just kind of are left with what really stood out as good? Like those moments where it's like, I can't believe I'm actually here and this is my life.
Yes.
Okay.
And I think that for the first part of my life, it's gotten to that point. I think that for the talk version, we haven't actually said all the stories.
Yeah. Oh, no.
So I
I'm
haven't
waiting.
had my cathartic, like my come to Jesus moment, if you will, or Jesus. I haven't had those moments yet. Do I hate those people? No. Is there a little bit of resentment? Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Why not, right? One of them, the main one that gave me the hardest time, she's left this earth.
Yeah.
What am I going to do?
Yeah.
I'm still here.
Yeah.
So that means I'm here for a reason, and that's to have people hear my voice and to make a change.
Yeah.
Because television does need to change. And maybe that's what we'll do via this podcast. Who knows? To make it better. Because at the end of the day, it's such a sad business to be in, because you really do sell your soul and you sell your life.
Oh, yeah.
And for what? Because at the end of the day, you're just, the moment they don't want you anymore, you're
Mahogany.
gone. You're gone.
Mahogany.
Mahogany, yeah, you're gone.
So the thing you left with, though, that nobody could take away was your integrity.
Correct. And they would try to come and attack that, but no. Listen, there's brands I work with that specifically said to me, we'll never do another giveaway on that show.
Yeah, yeah.
And
Is this still on?
yes.
Okay.
But it's not the same show. It's a
okay.
weird
It's on the same show. And they
Yeah.
just fired their executive producer, who I worked under at one point, who I actually did respect out of all of them. I mean, slightly, she was not terrible like
Yeah.
the rest of them. But, I think I revealed in the last episode, I think the biggest mistake that I made with my staff was I made them believe that we were an integral part of the show. We weren't. Nobody cared. And perfect example now, they have an audience company that doesn't get the, energetic people, the nicely dressed people. They don't care anymore.
Wow.
And rumor is that, it's the best thing that they'd ever done.
And it's a third party?
Wow.
It's not even.
It's not even a part of the CBS. They do
Wow.
lots of shows. They ticket lots of shows, but they don't do audience producing. Like, their audience producing is a joke.
Yeah.
And I say that because look at some of the camera shots. They don't take the time. They don't do games anymore. There's a lot of things. It's definitely been toned down.
Have you closeted watched?
No.
Okay.
After the day that I was let go, I actually never watched again. I never
Congrats.
gave them any support at all whatsoever.
Nice.
Yeah.
No, and people will ask me, did you see this? Did you see that? Did you see this? Nah, there's no point.
So, okay,
There's no
so
point.
before we jump ahead, I'm just curious who, while you were working there, were you most excited to meet? Not because they were so big, but just you had so many celebrities, major celebrities pass through those doors. Who were you most excited to have met, and or unexpected that they were as nice as they were, or kind, or
So that's a great question. Thank you, juror number 5. Listen, I think that I was extremely affected by the business. I didn't think anybody personally, bless you.
bless you.
I didn't think anybody personally was in my wheelhouse of, wow, I would have loved to have met that person. Other than like, my normal Janet Jackson, Paula Abdul, which I did get a chance to meet. I would have loved to have met Maya Angelou.
Oh, yeah.
Like I would have loved to have met like historical figures, someone that actually contributed to society.
Yeah.
Who cares about the other one?
No, you just don't know
because
if there's somebody.
they're all assholes at the end of the
Yeah.
day. They get into this mind frame. People were up in arms about the Kardashians. And it's like, really?
So on that note, I being around entertainers in the past and living in LA, and we come across people, and I mentioned that I know Tom Mesereau, who was Michael Jackson's attorney during that trial. I happened to come across Valerie Bertinelli recently.
Oh, nice.
And I became like this geek. I became tongue-tied. I was so excited to meet her. I stopped her in the middle of the street while she was driving her car.
Oh.
While
Oh my!
my car.
And for those of you who don't know Valerie Bertinelli, she's left this earth.
Wasn't she on the talk though? Wasn't she?
I think she was on the talk for a hot second.
Okay.
right?
Anyway, she was lovely, and she was great. But I geeked out.
Well, people don't know who she is, so why don't you explain who
so
She was
she
married
was
to
on
Eddie
a
Van
sh-
Halen.
She was married to Eddie Van Halen. Yep. And she was originally on a show called One Day at a Time, and that was in the 70s. And she was Mackenzie Phillips, and I forget who played the mother.
Yeah, Mackenzie Phillips, but she's
Yeah.
gone on.
Yeah.
I don't
Maybe.
know. She
think
may be still hanging around. I don't know. Drugged out.
Oh, thank you.
Okay. Yeah.
Our audience member is helping us.
Yes, thank you.
She's fact checking us as we say. It's awesome.
But that's what it's so weird because you don't know who you're going to geek out over. And I did in that moment. And I thought, oh my God, why? But I grew up watching her.
Yeah.
Tom Mesereau, I'm cool with. It's like, Tom, but Valerie, it's just I had a geek out moment. That was earlier this year.
Oh my
So
God.
hi,
Anything
Valerie.
for Celebrity Corner, right?
Yeah. So Valerie, if you want to be my next guest on Celebrity Corner,
With a
get
K.
in contact with cousin Louie, our producer.
Celebrity
So we're going
Corner
to try to
with a K.
pimp you out, Louie.
Oh, are we?
though.
All right,
We have
well.
other people that may be interested
I
in
have
your
a mortgage to pay, so
podcast abilities. I just have a great time doing this with you guys.
yeah, I do
though.
too. It's fun.
Yeah.
Did we get a chance to cover all of your stuff, though? Did you mention
Yeah,
your
there's,
company?
you know what, listen,
or-
I'm going to be on regularly. So we'll cover ground as
Just
we
want to make
go.
sure. Just want to make
Yeah.
sure before we
Yeah,
close this
I mean,
up.
I wish there was a lot of exciting things to share, but that's in the future.
Yeah, that's
Life
great.
is just kind of calm, and I'm, again, with all the uncertainty happening right now, it's nice to be at a very calm and stabilizing place. It really is. But I look at the two of you, and I am inspired. I'm just saying that you guys are taking a chance and a risk on something that you potentially can grow and flourish into.
Yeah.
It may not just be do it like Danny. It may be a lot of other things.
Yeah.
And God only knows you will always be fine. You really will be.
Am I though?
So I wanted to save this towards the end of the show because I didn't want you to be upset about it, just in case it got revealed. But Jimmy and I have plans to drive to San. Call me, Jimmy.
With Darnella?
Darnella, Jimmy and I are going on a road trip.
That was good.
That's it. Kill him. Well, listen, if you've said everything that you said, welcome back, Cousin Angelo. Thank you so much
you.
for
Yeah, thank you
coming
for
to the
having me.
show.
Absolutely.
Thank you for letting people see you. And if you are listening to us, you're going to have to tune in because there's an amazing montage in the beginning. It's really hilarious. It's actually from the mind child of Angelo. So I have to give him some credit for on that one, but it's really funny. And what else?
Let's hope.
Eat an orange. It prevents scurvy.
And I have some wonderful desserts to share with you.
Yeah.
guys.
Oh, yeah.
I really do,
Well,
yeah.
desserts. But yeah, listen, I think that this was good. Or we're good, right?
Yeah, we're
okay,
great.
We'll just close it up then. With all that's been said today, thank you so much for being a part of my family and now Lou's family.
Yeah.
So I
cousin
really
Louie.
appreciate that. I'm sure
Yeah.
Grammy is up above smiling and laughing her ass off. And Grandpa, too, is going, what are they doing? I totally know that they are.
Well,
and our
we
Obama,
share,
too.
we share the same middle name, James.
Oh, do we really?
Yeah,
I
all
didn't know
three of us
that.
do.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, really?
My middle name's James.
Isn't that
shit.
wow? I didn't know that. Louie.
Yeah.
Okay.
I didn't know that either. Well, that is some satanic shit right there.
So from the three brother Jameses.
Yeah,
Thank you
666.
And it was a privilege to have you guys in my home.
Oh my God, thank you so much.
Thank you.
We
It
didn't
really-
mind taking the trek up here to Santa Paula. It's absolutely gorgeous.
Although my spa is clogged from the orange now.
So thank you again for inviting us. Thank you for being on the show. And remember, folks, to always do it like Danny.
Goodbye.